and welcome to another art tutorial. Today I'm going to be producing a collage. That's the word. Nearly forgot. And as you can see, I'm actually starting with red. That looks like fire red. I like red. It's beautiful. So anyway, I decided I was going to start with red as a predominant colour. So I got some stencils out and I started dibby-dabbing all over the canvas. The canvas is actually 50 by 60 centimetres, and I have prepared it by painting over it with like a, I don't know, it's sort of a very pale apricot acrylic colour. So yeah, that's where this started. Let's see where it goes, shall we? Maybe I'll be able to speak in this video. Who knows? Collage is a piece of art that incorporates a variety of materials. It often involves gluing things like paper, cloth, or napkins onto a canvas or a board and incorporating that into a painting or composition. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I always try and have some sort of theme going on in my collage, and I think this is my third one of the series, and this one I'm sort of basing it on history, kind of retro, that type of thing. So I think it's quite important in a collage to have a theme running through it. So you can see I've got older style pictures up there for people to sort of look at and go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember when those books were out. And I kind of like that. I also loved Gene Kelly. Once I've glued down some of my things, the ones that I really want to stand out, I tend to sort of draw around like I'm doing here. I'll use like an acrylic pen, and it sort of brings the image out from the canvas a bit more. As you can see here, I've got some napkins to the left there, really beautiful napkins, I love those, and I'm just basically drawing round some of the papers that I've laid down, just to make them stand out really. I generally outline in black, although I do also use gold acrylic pens or silver acrylic pens to draw around also. Obviously I've not really described how I've got the papers laid down, but I use PVA glue, or you can use Mod Podge to lay down anything that you want to lay down on a canvas. If you want to put down something that's obviously going to be a bit heavier, I would suggest using a hot glue gun. But be careful, because they burn like crazy if you get them on your skin. One thing I like to do is to add depth to some of the images that I've cut out and applied to the canvas. So in this instance, I'm just adding a few sort of little dotty bits to stand out more. And I also follow around certain parts of the I mean, that particular bit is a napkin. I also like to write on my collages. It's just something I do. I like that look of it. I think it just makes it look a little bit different, a little bit more personable, and a bit more like me, like my style of artwork. You don't need to be too particular in lining, because that's part of for me, it's part of the beauty of the piece. I just also write sort of, or scribble, just every so often. Doesn't always mean anything. Sometimes it does, but it only means something to me. But I love using the mixed media in it. So I use the pen a lot, because I just think it adds another dimension to the piece. Collage is a form of visual arts in which visual elements are combined to create a new image that conveys a message or an idea. So it's your message, it's your idea. So choose a theme that you really enjoy, because it takes quite a lot of prior planning. I get a lot of my materials from charity shops. I go in and I buy books that have, various things in that I'm interested in, and then I'll rip them out of the book and save them for a collage, And when the time's right, I glue, once I've cut them all out obviously, I glue them onto the canvas. It's very important to use a good glue. I find that PVA is good enough. For me, it's good enough, but then I do use a lot of coats. Once you've laid down the piece of paper with the first coat of glue, you then have to glue over it as well. More than one time, I do anyway. So be prepared for something that's going to take you a while to compile, but it will be worth it in the end. And add all your little bits and things that sort of that you enjoy seeing and that you think other people might enjoy seeing. So you've done all your lining with your pen and everything is as you want it. So now you want to give a really thick coating of PVA glue. Don't be afraid when you first put it down that you've put too much on, because you need a lot really for it to be as it should be. You need to be able to put it on thickly and spread it out. I try and go in the same direction so that you don't get any sort of streaking or anything going on, and just spread it all around, and when it dries it will be nice and shiny. Especially concentrate on the bigger pieces, on the thicker pieces that you've applied. They will need a lot more. I would say I probably on average do 2 to 3 coats afterwards, and then I finish it off with a coat of varnish. And this is how it looks when you've coated it. I think this is just with the PVA glue. It does need a very thick coating to make sure that everything is glued down nicely and isn't going to come up at some time or at some point. So that's it, all glued down. Oh, we've still got a few more bits to go. As you can see, it's quite a laborious task, but it's worth doing it. And as I say, after you've done that, then and that dries, you then start adding your varnish. 1 or 2 coats is probably enough. And then after you've done that, you end up with this. Bright, vibrant colours. The PVA has all dried and it's popping. I think we call this popping.